You ready?
Fuck it. Hi.
Hey, everybody.
There it goes. How you guys doing? Hopefully you can see me and hear me today.
You actually look good today. It looks clear.
What are you guys up to?
Just a blast from
Are
the
you
past.
having your
Lean with
day?
it,
Are
rock
you
with
being
it,
stressed
lean
out
with
by the election results? What's going on? Who's
Okay.
having a live dance off?
it. Yeah, I just fucking lean with it, rock with it today. I don't know what it was. I don't know. Hey, Regina.
Hey, girl.
Lord. Hey, Regina.
Lordy.
What's the
Ooh.
deal?
Oh, is that what we're doing? I'm ready today. I'm ready for you today, baby.
So
What?
I'm prepared today.
we here, we live, and we ready. My red light is on, so that means we're ready to go in and dive in the conversation today. We live in the gay Raj. Hi, everybody doing? The bitch is on.
It's gonna be a lot of messy sex talk. I hope y'all ready. Put your hat on.
Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, however you search. Shout out to T.S. Madison and all my bitches out there.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So
We're
listen.
going to go back into time. Well, y'all going to go back into time. I'm going to go back into last week because this is about youth and sexuality, and I'm still part of the youth.
Yes, Lord.
And you are. You indeed are. I can't even front on it. You definitely are.
Okay.
Before we go into the topic, though, so we have a new setup that we were doing, and right now we're gonna start with the advertisings that we typically do. I'm not gonna just shade. I'm not gonna go into a lot today. I want to give a shout out to first and foremost our sister organization, which is CREW. CREW stands for Community Resources and Empowerment and Wellness.
Let's go.
So
Let's get it.
This program is a program that is centered towards mental health as well as substance use. Substance use in a way that the format is harm reduction, the harm reduction model, meaning that they're not looking to how to get you to stop cold turkey. If that's a goal of yours, that is your goal. If you have a goal to maybe using your substance of choice 3 days a week, we want to make sure that we can get you there. If it's 2 days a week, we want to make sure we get you there. So it's your goals. You set your own pace, and we're just there to assist you that way. What I also love about it is that you are also focusing on your mental health as well. So having that person to talk to, they also offer things like support groups, individual groups as well. So if there's something that sounds like that's interesting to you, come be a part. Sean and us would love to have you. All right. If you or somebody that you know is out of care and need HIV case management and medical care, please contact Bryce. He can get you right.
All together.
All together, please.
If you or somebody you know needs PrEP information and PrEP case management and PrEP medical care, please contact Patrice. She would
with 26 inches.
If you or somebody needs information about testing, Hep C testing,
is free.
Okay.
You can contact all of us.
Yes. It's free.
It is free. The 90 and 9.
So this time I'm going to take over this a new segment This segment is called what's the segment called, y'all?
What's it called? What's it? Huh?
Youth and sexuality.
Nope. That's the topic. The segment.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's called "What's Happening with Sean."
It's called What's Happening with Sean. So
sorry.
because Sean has been so busy with his trainings that he's been doing for the last 2 days, I decided to actually take over that segment for today and today's only. And I wanted to
Okay.
I actually want to have a conversation about where we at on the polls.
Y'all waiting on Nevada to quit playing.
Deal.
Y'all call me when it's over. I'm not watching that shit.
I
Can
don't
y'all
like
see my
torturing
screen?
myself.
Can y'all see my screen?
Yes, I can see.
Yeah. You might want to make it a little bigger.
Okay.
It's tiny.
We don't do that.
The plus, there she go. There she. Come on back up where you was. There you go. Come on up a little bit more. Bam.
Zoom up in it, girl. Get
Yeah, you gotta zoom a little bit.
Yeah.
We're not at your desk.
Can y'all see it now?
Okay, that's better.
Okay. Bryce, you misgendered me. I want you to make sure that you get that together, baby boy.
Okay, get into there, boy.
So, so how you doing with the polls? So as you can see, Biden is winning.
Leading.
Right, leading. Thank you for correcting me. He has an electoral. He has an electoral vote of 264, while Trump has 214.
Mm-hmm.
He has how many? Oh, I see it, 264. Oh. Yeah. Oh,
so,
okay.
Here's the kicker. Nevada is already blue. Nevada is 6 electoral votes. If we win Nevada, we automatically win the election.
I thought we won Nevada.
No,
Nevada says they're not going to be finished counting until the 12th of November.
Oh, okay.
So we haven't won Nevada yet. But if we do win Nevada, that's 6 electoral votes. That is an automatic win for Biden. Georgia is still cutting it real close. Right now, the state is still colored red. However, they have not finished counting their votes as well. As of right now, there's a lead that Trump has of about 9,000. It is very possible that we can turn that state blue. So,
well, that's the only one he's gonna flip because he ain't flipping North Carolina.
But it's also important to state too that Georgia has lost over 300,000 mail-in ballots.
Votes and ballots.
Votes, yes.
That's correct.
Because if that were the case, that would not be the governor right now if they hadn't lost them ballots.
Mm-hmm.
How did they lose them?
The UPS lost them.
The UPS lost them in the mail-in ballots.
Yes.
Sure they did.
Right. Somebody hit the UPS truck, you know.
So the state.
When has the UPS ever lost something they couldn't track down?
Did anybody lose a check or something that came in the mail too with them ballots?
So the states that are left is Nevada, Georgia, and of course North Carolina.
Oh.
Pennsylvania is done?
Oh, I'm sorry, in Pennsylvania. I apologize. In Pennsylvania. Thank you for that, Patrice. Thank you. However, even if Trump was to win, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia, it still wouldn't amount to 270 electoral votes.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
So, honestly and truly, I don't know why they won't just call it now.
Because if he wins Nevada, that still won't put him up to 270. But you know they're not gonna call it now because Trump is gonna be a jackass. We already know. He's already said multiple times. He has these people on Fox News thinking that this is a setup and this isn't a real election. And the Democrats plan for this to happen.
Basically, yeah.
You know, I seen a woman that was stupid enough to say if Joe Biden becomes president, she's gonna go to Hawaii. Baby, he's still gonna be a president.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if the Cheeto get back in office, Teresa's going to Canada. Okay?
Not Canada Air.
I'm out this piece. I'm in too much danger being in the South of Trump's America. I am a black woman that's an atheist. Y'all can kiss my ass. Because you know you know those, I mean, I can get a passport.
I ain't got no passport.
You can rush them to Georgia and get them back in 3 days if you pay the extra money. Yeah.
Yeah, let me go ahead and get her real quick, you know.
Because I can't do it. Because with the way they stack in the Supreme Court, we're going to be back in slavery again in no time.
Stop, don't say that.
I mean,
because you know it's not a constitutional amendment. It's just a bill that they write, and they have to re-sign it every 50 years. So it's not out of the realm of suspension that could happen, especially when you have a Supreme Court judge that likes beer.
Oh my God! They're gonna have my fat ass outside with the horses. I can't. It's too hot for that.
It's the stuff like that just like this whole thing with this situation just blows me. Like even how they dragging it out. Like I just feel like they're trying to start. You know.
Well, I mean, this is the first time they've had to do this because of the pandemic.
That's really crazy. Like
this is the first time they had. This wasn't a people wanted. This was they had to do it. We still in the middle of a pandemic that is going up every fucking day.
Guess who fault that is? It's Donald Trump and it's biting him in the ass.
I listened to an interview of a chick whose father was a Trump supporter and had COVID and died. And one of the last things he said to her was, "I wish I would have never listened to him."
I wish you was smart enough not to, baby. R.I.P.
So I'm just going over the states that are still left.
Yeah.
But
we all lost one this year. Or lost two. Lord.
Maybe for me, I think this is such like a really touchy topic. Like even with the whole because it's so many opinionated people, and you just. For me,
oh yeah, politics is like religion. It's very volatile because it's very emotional.
I want people to understand that politics is nothing nice. It's very messy. It's always been messy. So people trying where's the class? There was never no class in politics.
Like that's crazy.
It's always been messy, and they get your
because if you look at some of the things, but we need to make everybody vote. I feel like that should be a law. Every citizen has to fucking vote. That's how actually a lot of countries are. Australia is like that, and that way you have and everybody's vote counts. That way you actually have a fair actual election of who the people really want, and not this fucking electoral college bullshit.
What another thing that upset me, and y'all know I'm very, I like to keep it a stack with people. To see my own community online. And I know a lot of people that has been to jail, and I know you had your little bit. I understand certain things may not have worked out well in order for you to be able to vote. But if you had the opportunity to vote and you're on social media bragging about how you're not going to vote because you feel as though this is rigged and all this, that, and the third, I don't want to hear no complaining. Like literally, that I just feel like that's just really whack. That just really baffles me that you really can sit online and really sit and give your opinion and be very opinionated behind a screen about not voting when you could have went and sat in front
I call them Facebook gangsters.
Like, it really bothers me.
That's right.
It should. I mean, the excuses that people give for not being able to vote, even if you didn't have a ride, you could have got many a free ride to go vote.
The baby was
giving out free rides like fucking.
I'm not trying to hear that. Y'all be getting rides to different states. Y'all can get rides to the ball. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not.
You got to that ball, didn't you?
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Y'all be busting it down to Atlanta. Y'all be busting it down to South Carolina. Y'all make it to Tennessee. Some of y'all can make it all the way to LA. I'm not trying to hear none of that.
There's no shade. I had a lot of my friends online even offering to give rides. They ain't even nice people to even give people in their car, but they was giving rides on election day.
Right.
They wanted to make sure you got there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
No
and people
excuse.
swear it don't have shit to do with them. But when they come through and gentrify your fucking neighborhood, and now the apartments that you live in that you was paying $700 for are now $1,400. This is what happens when people
No, they
don't
really gonna
fucking
feel
vote.
it when that second stimulus check never comes.
Go ahead and move to Kings Mountain and Gastonia, sweetie.
Bitch.
I ain't going. So
I ain't going.
moving on. That was the segment of what was the name of your segment?
What's happening? What's going on with Sean?
What's going on with Sean?
With Sean?
With
With
Sean? With Sean?
No.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Okay,
Lord.
so let's now dive.
Actually, no, it's actually called Listen Up with Sean. I forgot. My bad. Sorry, y'all. It's gonna be called Listen Up with Sean. I apologize.
It's okay. We're gonna next week.
I got some good juicy stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're gonna have his little thing made, so it'll be okay.
Wow.
I am so mad with this peach.
Ooh.
I taste just like candy. Yes, peaches and cream.
It's the peach for me.
You know what I mean?
It is totally the Georgia peach for me.
It's always the Georgia peach for me.
I like the color. They real.
Who this hair is so annoying today? I'm over it.
Today's topic is we're talking about sexuality and youth.
Mm-hmm. So come on, y'all. Are y'all ready to go back into? Y'all ready to go back into your time machine to take me back?
Take me back. Woo!
Take me back. So first, I want to get into virginity and being a virgin and what does that mean. So, Rashawn, I want you to explain to me what does being a virgin mean to you.
A virgin to me is someone who is not sexually active, someone that hasn't been touched or fondled with. I'm just keeping it honest. I'm just being honest. Someone hasn't been touched or being fondled with because I'll wait till we get into that. But someone that hasn't been touched or fondled with, but even someone that when it just comes to something in a sexual way, fondled or touched in a sexual way. Let me clarify that. Not just touched, but in a very sexual way. Okay, that's what I feel like a virgin is. Someone that has not been touched, fondled with, or actually had sexual intercourse, or forced into sexual intercourse, or anything of that matter. They are a virgin. That's what I feel like a virgin is.
Trees, give it to me. What is your definition of virginity?
Okay, so the common misconception with women is that they're supposed to be virgins when they get married, the white sheets, the bloodstains, all that bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole popping your cherry, all that other weird shit, is not really a thing. You kind of tear more than pop, and everybody doesn't bleed, so that doesn't mean that she's not a virgin.
Mm-hmm.
However, a friend of mine used to be a counselor at a middle school that shall remain unnamed.
Okay.
And the kids there, in order to stay virgins, were having anal sex and passing STDs around like candy. They end up having to have those kids' parents all come to a meeting because it was that bad.
Wow. Yeah. Oh God. Okay. Johnny. What is the definition of virginity for you?
I think virginity to me, I think that there's two different virginities that can be taken from people: the mental portion of virginity as well as the physical. I say mental. I do agree very much with Sean. If a person's been touched, or if a person's been, have been, forced against their will at a very young age, or they may not have been penetrated in that time frame. But the mental, they have been exposed to some type of sexual thing, and that can change them for the rest of their life. some people do it changes people in different ways. Some people go a different route than others, and things like that. But I think that their innocence has been taken from them. And I think a virgin. I often think about a person's innocence. And I do think that can also be something that can be affected, can be taken away mentally as well as physically. So,
Okay.
of course, physical. We're talking about penetration, of course, and whatever, things like that. But I think that's my kind of view on virginity.
Okay, so I'm gonna read the definition. You ready?
We ready?
Virginity is a quality of an individual, male or female, and may choose to change by deciding freely without coercion or impairment to experience sexual intimacy with another person of their choice. So only you choose to change it. No one else can change your virginity for you. So I think for me, virginity means not having your first consensual sexual experience with someone that you choose. I don't think you lose your virginity from being molested or sexually assaulted. I believe you lose your virginity when it's the first time you have consensual sex with someone else. That's how I view virginity. And while we're on the topic, I want to talk about sexual peer pressure and feeling pressure to have sex. So I will speak from my own experience in middle school. I felt like I needed to have sex because everybody was talking about how they was doing it, and of course people were lying, but some people actually were. I seen people come into middle school pregnant. I seen people come into high school pregnant. So
I'm mad they was coming into middle school. That has upset the shit out of me.
yes, homegirl had a baby in 7th grade, but that's not funny. That's not funny. It's
But
not funny.
I mean, that was completely for my age range. That was completely normal. They had a whole school. Hawthorne was a whole
Yeah,
school
Hawthorne used to be a school
dedicated
for pregnant
for,
girls. I
for, for
forgot
pregnant
about
girls
that.
that they
And
went.
I had the same look on my face then that I have
Um,
now.
So I definitely do feel like there was a pressure to engage in sexual intercourse. But Patrice, I want to ask you, have you, as a youth, did you ever feel pressure to have sex?
I mean, a lot of people at my high school were having sex. I personally wasn't because my parents had a lock and key on my ass. So, so for me, even though you get asked and stuff like that, it wasn't so. Sex wasn't such a push now as it was then. Like sex might be something people talked about, but the majority of them were not having sex, and everybody knew who was having sex.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the same type of vibe that people have now because sex is so saturated in our society, and it wasn't like that 20 years ago.
Okay, understood. Rashawn, how about you? As a youth, did you ever feel the pressure to have sex?
So to kind of go back on something that you said earlier, like you said you don't feel like someone that's being molested, that's not taking their virginity. Well, I just happen to be one that was molested at an early age by my granddad, who is deceased now. I'm very open about this conversation, so I don't want anybody to feel all bad for me or nothing like that. It happened when I was at a very young age. However, growing up and getting into, going to middle school and stuff like that, when my friends and stuff were talking about sex, I was very uneasy with talking about sex, man. I wasn't really open to sex. I didn't want nobody touching me.
Because you were traumatized.
Yeah, and I still was kind of like traumatized still from my past. So kind of like it eventually wore off as I got, as I'm getting older. But at that particular time, in my head of me thinking, like, my virginity was snatched from me from someone whom I didn't give consent. So then when it was time for me to have sex, it kind of like, I was kind of really shy. Like, to be my very first time, even like not with a female, this not even with a male. I was, when I was having sex with females, it just felt really weird to me. Like, I was like, I don't know if I'm hurting her. I didn't know if I was like, so much was playing in my head at that particular time. So I didn't really know how to handle the situation. Now getting older and becoming more comfortable with myself and who I am as a person, and finding out a lot of things about sex in myself and educating myself properly on certain matters, and even still get educated to this day. People still teaching me things that I may not even know or I may not even be familiar with. So now, with me knowing the knowledge that I have now, it makes it completely different for me. But I never felt pressured. Like, I didn't feel the need to. I kind of was just nervous and scared. Like everybody was doing it, but I was like, ew, like, okay, girl, you
What
have
y'all
sex.
doing?
Like that's nasty.
Yeah.
But I was at that time I was nasty to me, like, you having sex, ew.
Yes. So
There's
yes,
nothing like finding out your little sister had sex before you did.
dang, Patrice.
Years before I did.
Dang, Patrice. Yes, I want to get
I didn't
into.
lose my virginity till my freshman year of college.
Okay.
See, I didn't have sex with a boy till my freshman year of college. Like penetration until freshman year of college.
Got it.
So I felt like for me that of whether or not I was pressured to have sex at a very early age, I think I was the pressurer.
Give it to me.
And I'm gonna say that, and the reason why I said it is because, like, let me tell you, like, again, and this is no this is no reflection on my mom. My mother was a good mom, things like that, and what it could be. However, there are a lot of opportunities for growth for her as a parent because she was a very young mom as well. And because I was such like I think I was good in school. I didn't get in trouble. I had a lot of freedom at a very early age because I didn't give my parents any issues. I was
Right.
very brilliant in school, good grades all the time, things like that. I've never given my parents any issues, so I had a lot of wiggle room to do a lot of things that I really wanted to do in life. And so for me, so that exposed me to a lot of things a lot early. So I was already advanced in I was ready and having sex. It was somebody I like, what's up,
What's up?
what we doing,
What you doing?
So I think for me, I have always been the pressurer. And if I wasn't the pressurer, if somebody was pressuring me, they didn't have to add the pressure. Like I'm right there with you. Like we want it as equally. There was different. No, I never really ever felt pressured
Okay.
at all. Like I was either I'm pressuring that person or we in this together and we're ready to go. Again, y'all know I jumped off the porch a little early in life. So yeah.
That's on period. I want to talk about sexual introduction. When I mean that by that, I mean how you was introduced to sex, whether it was speaking consensually, and how I was introduced to sex through TV. So I had a TV in my room growing up, and on HBO, this used to be this little docu-series called Real Sex.
Yes.
And every episode,
Take me back.
every
Yes.
episode,
Everybody loves real sex.
it was something
Okay.
different. There was an episode about strippers. There was an episode actually about HIV and AIDS in New York City. There was an episode about how these men would go up to the mountains and they would do like circle jerk. They would masturbate, do yoga together. That was real interesting. But also too, BT Uncut and those Girls Gone Wild commercials. So like,
Oh,
it was
BNT
like,
Uncut
yes.
was the shit.
And those Girls Gone Wild commercials. So like, Girls Gone Wild was like this thing where guys would go to like where all the spring breakers to go in Puerto Rico, Mexico, Miami,
Right.
and they find all these girls, and they go to me and Karen, like, yeah, you like that, baby? Oh my God, yeah. You want to see that?
The wet t-shirt contest.
Yes, and then they'd be like, it'll cut it off and be like, you want to see the rest? You got to pay $19.95. They be like, damn, like, what's happening? Like, what's up? Like, I'm trying to see. But when it came to education, see, my mother gave me the talk. My father and my stepfather gave me the talk. My mother gave me the talk, and that was awkward as heck. But I'm glad she did. And then when it came to school, it was very straight to the point. It was women have vaginas, men have penises. Men get erect, they insert inside the vagina, he ejaculates. That's it. There wasn't no talk about STIs, STDs. There was no talk about contraceptions. It was straight up: you have sex, you get pregnant, you die.
That is the state of North Carolina. Welcome.
It was straight up like that. So a lot of us was figuring it out on our own. But yes, I was introduced to sex through TV. And I don't blame my parents from letting me have a TV in my room. However,
Why would you blame them?
I was watching it.
That was a weird statement to say. I don't blame my
That was
parents.
a choice.
I don't blame them.
You can't blame them.
But I get what you're saying though, Bryce, because some people do blame it on the parents. I get what you're saying.
Yes.
Like, it starts at home and da. I get that, but still.
It was not my parents' fault.
Right.
It was the freak in me. So Patrice, how are you introduced?
It was a freak in me.
It was the freak in me. Yes, Regina. I heard that before.
My mama just said
I want to think it was the movie Do the Right Thing.
Mm.
And for the longest time, I couldn't figure out how the people fit together. It just didn't make any sense to me in my head. I would be sitting there like, how is this happening? What? That don't go together like that. Where is it going? I was so confused. And one of my guy cousins was like, bitch, watch this movie. And I was fascinated. But I also read a lot of erotic literature, like a lot.
Yes.
I had like a notebook of stuff I had printed off the internet.
Yes, baby. Rashawn, how about you? How was you introduced to sex?
Oh, so for me, that's actually interesting that you asked that, because I never really even like talked about this story ever, or even thought about it until just now. But my oldest brother was around me. Growing up, not my oldest brother, but my second oldest brother was around me. And he was into video games and, you know, going out to hang with his homeboys, and he was all flirting with the girls. You know, he was a little daddy Mac. That I used to call him Daddy Mac. So we were actually in church. And we both were talking to sisters. He was talking to one of the sisters, I was talking to the other sister. He just so happened to, you know, he knew about the whole sex thing already. He was already ready for it. I guess he had already been experienced. So like we chilling with the girls, and he trying to like, he hitting me like, okay, we get ready to do our thing. Like, what y'all get ready to do? I'm like, we chilling watching TV. Like, what you mean? Like, what you giving? Like, we chilling watching TV. So he go do his thing or whatever. But like, so I asked him, I'm like, when he finished, because we stayed there and watched TV. When he finished, I started asking questions like, what was y'all doing? Like, he was like, oh, we was there. I'm like, y'all had sex. Like, for real? Like, in my head, I'm so young at the time, I'm thinking like, well, damn, how did it happen? Like, what did y'all do? Like, y'all came out the room all normal. Like, I thought maybe they was gonna come out and act different or be different after sex, or they was gonna look different or something. You know what I'm saying? I was expecting something to be different after they came out the room and had sex. I was like, they came out all normal, like nothing happened. I'm like, okay, well. So then from that point on, when I found out that he had sex, it just intrigued me and made me want to go out and experiment. But my first time experimenting, I got a girl pregnant when I decided my very first time having sex with a female. And that was not good.
I got pregnant the first time I had sex. It was awful.
We both had church parents. We both was in church. It was bad. Like, he didn't tell me nothing about no condoms. My brother didn't teach me no sexual education, no nothing. At that time in school, I wasn't even. It wasn't an option to get that just yet. So it was just like I just went for what I knew. Like I was happy. She was happy. Next thing I know, oh, you pregnant? Well, damn. Y'all ain't tell me about that.
Y'all ain't tell me about that shit.
You ain't tell me about that part. Wow. That was the experience.
When it goes all wrong.
When it goes down south. Johnny, okay. How was you introduced to sex, Lord?
So I actually don't remember how I was introduced, because I started experimenting at a very young age. I'm gonna tell this story. And my mother watched, and so she watches a lot. So I'm gonna share this story with you guys.
Hi, Mom. It was nice to meet you the other day. You're so nice and sweet.
I'm gonna share this story with you guys, and I don't think that she remembers this story because it happened. I think I was still in preschool. I have very like weird memories, random memories of things. And this is one of the random memories that I have. So it was this guy that I went to preschool with, and
I'm mad you said guy and not kid.
we were both kids. We was in preschool.
Exactly.
And his mother and my mother was best friends. So it was very often that we saw each other in each other's houses, had play dates and whatever. And I remember, again, I don't know how, I can't tell you how I got exposed to this at a very young age, because I don't remember nothing, but this is my first incident, period. So, we were, I don't even know how, but we, were at the playground and decided that we both needed to use the bathroom at the same time. So we goes in the bathroom together. Because it was a preschool, they would just send us in and things like that. So they sent us in and things like that to go use the bathroom. And we used the bathroom. Lo and behold, I'm getting my piece up. We kissed, he's literally sucking my piece and whatever. And her and the teacher, I guess we was in there for too long. Was like, oh, they've been open too long. They come, we're in preschool, so it wasn't that long. But they come and checking on us. Open the door, and he's literally like going down on me and whatever.
Slob on the knob. I'm sorry.
No.
So she says, and I'll never forget this. She says, if I see this again, I'm gonna tell your mama. Cool. So our mamas didn't find out. Cool. Remember, our mama's our best friend, so they would keep coming over the house anyway. So this one time, he came over the house, and it was nap time. They was putting us down for nap because again, we in preschool. It's nap time or whatever, and they put us in the same bed because they ain't thinking nothing. We kids, whatever, they ain't thinking nothing at all. Whatever. And I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden I'm standing on top of him in my race car bed. I had a race car bed. I'm standing on top of him in my race car bed, and I had a jumper on. So I'm literally in the process of unbuttoning my jumper, and the door was creaked. I don't know. Something told me to look behind me. I looked behind me, and his mother is peeking through the door. Before I know it, she yells and screams, my mother's name. You're standing on top of my son. Blah. So they both come running in the room and like literally drags and like every time somebody got a whooping. I cried for hours. I cried for hours on that ass whooping. And so those two were my first sexual encounters that I can remember. But again, I don't remember how exactly I got exposed to wanting to start doing that stuff.
I didn't know you was talking about getting filled up when you was little. I'm sorry.
Oh no! I think he was talking about just the introduction of sex, and I don't remember my introduction, but I remember like again, it wasn't me being pressured. The kid wasn't older than I was. We both were in the same age range, had the same exposure. I came from very similar backgrounds, so it wasn't nothing that like my mama ain't sitting me in front of a TV and watching sex shit. So I can't tell you exactly where I got the mindset to want to participate in those acts at those age. I don't remember that, but I was very young in preschool. I may add, getting my dick sucked.
Boy, you put that thing in sport. You was too young. Lord, I was watch your man. You
watch your mouth.
But now I want to
administer mouth to mouth.
Okay.
Lord, I want to get into desiring sex and coming into your sexuality. How did you know what you like, and how you liked it? So I'm gonna start. I didn't start desiring sex until I was in 7th grade. Any other time before that, I was a baby. I was Gerber-ish. I was riding my bike, playing Pokemon, this and that. The 7th grade hit, a bitch got a mustache. A bitch voice got weird. And after that, it was on and popping. So, like I said earlier, there was this pressure to have sex. So there was this girl, she was fucking everybody. I'm not gonna say her name. But one day in class, I asked her, I said, so you trying to fuck? She was like, yeah, whatever, like, what's up? So we skipped the 3rd block, went to the park behind the track, and we was fucking in the park. And it only lasted like a good 7 minutes. Like the first 3 minutes, me trying to get it in there, because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So she literally had to grab it and put it in there for me. And then like after that, it was like a good 4 minutes, and it was like, and it was over. So I didn't really feel nothing after that. I was like, okay, I'm not a virgin no more. But I was like, what is this? Like, so fast forward to 8th grade. 8th grade is when I really knew I like boys, because that wasn't my first boy crush, but that was the first, like, there was a boy that I really had a crush on, and he used to like flirt with me like back in class. Like I used to have my hand on my desk, and he would take his pencil and put it in between my fingers to go up and down with the pencil, like, yeah. So then it went from having sex with girls to stroking dick in the back of the classroom. Now fast forward to high school, I looked myself one day. I looked myself in the mirror and I was washing my hands. I looked myself in the mirror and I was like, "You gay, but you can't tell nobody, but you gay." So I knew I was gay. So I was like, and what I
Bryce get
learned,
on my nerves.
what I learned about myself was, I'm sexually attracted and romantically attracted to men, but I do like romance with women. I was still go on dates with women. I like cuddling with women. I like romance with women, but sexually and romantically, I like men. But I didn't want to be gay, so I was trying to do things like not to be gay. Like I was trying to pray the gay away, all this and that. But then once I turned 13, I was like, bitch, like once I turned 15, I was like, bitch, you gay, like
This man.
it's mean. It's whatever. You gay, like once you go to college, you can do whatever you want. So boom. Fast forward to college. Freshman year, touchdown on Central Campus. Didn't know where to find the boys at. I met the gay boy on my class. I heard them talking about Jack. That's how I got introduced to the app. So a boy in my class, he was like, "Yeah, girl, these DL niggas out here, I on Jack." Oh, so I went to the app store and I typed in Jack. Within like a day and a half, I get a notification like, boom, like what's up? It was the pay, like it was blanket everything. Like he didn't have no pictures, no nothing. It was just straight up like, and I was like, hey, like how are you? Like I was trying to have like a full conversation, like, cause I didn't know, like
I don't
I was like, whatever. So we going back and forth. And he was like, you gay, like you femme, and I was like, what's that mean? I knew I was gay, but I was not part of no community, so I didn't know any lingo. So I was like, I guess, like what? And he was like, you be taking dick? I was like, no, I didn't really got to dick before, but like, what's up? So I meet him, and he my type. 6'3", 275 pounds. He was the on the defensive line for the school football team, and it was everything for my life. Baby, that shit hurt. I ain't never like, I was like, yo, like, what is this? I didn't know what was going on. He hit me with the Vaseline. He hit me with that. Let me put the tip in. I was like, I never did that before, but okay, I guess you just put the tip. He lied. It wasn't no tip.
They always lie.
But
That's always a lie.
I believed him because I was like, oh my god, like he's gonna take care of me. It's like we're not gonna do that too much. I was like a dick like that, but I wasn't good at it. So like there was teeth involved a little bit. He was like, yo, I was like, oh my bad. Like it was terrible. But then like we did it a few more times after that, and it got progressively better. But then we just fell off like messing with each other. And after that situation, that was 2015 freshman year. 2016, I didn't have sex for a whole year because I was still battling with, am I gay, am I straight, am I bisexual? So I really wanted to find myself. So for the whole year 2016, I really didn't have sex. I was really like trying to figure out what I liked and what I didn't like. But once I turned 20 in 2017,
right,
and I transferred to A&T, and I was in that all boys dorm. Oh, it was like going from 0 to 100 real quick. Like, then I had to slow down because me and my homegirl was talking. I was like, girl, I've been running through. And she's like, me too. I said, girl, we hoes. She was like, yeah, we got to calm down. So that lasted about 2 weeks. And I started fucking niggas again. So then that's when I really knew that I was a bottom, that I was gay. I tried that birth shit. I had sex with a girl again sophomore year, but it was awkward as fuck. So I was like, yeah, you gay for real. And then I was, that was it. So that's really how I came into my sexuality. I was just hitting them. I was doing hit and runs, child. Then I met my and then he asked me to be his boyfriend, but it wasn't nothing special. We were sitting in his car, like, first of all, we had just got finished having sex. He just taught me to saw NBA Youngboy. And then we sit in the backseat looking at each other. He's like, yeah, like, you trying to be my boyfriend? And I was like, I guess. So at this we just been together. And it was cool. I liked him, whatever, but like he was a hoe. And he was cheating on me, and I felt it in my spirit. Like he was like, oh, I'm going to my homeboy's house real quick, and I'd be sitting in the car for like a long time, and I'm like, dang, like what's going on? He was in there fucking. Yeah. So my college experience is one for the books. I'm gonna write a tell-all book one day.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell it all.
Tell it all.
But Rashawn, I want to know.
Y'all getting an exclusive version right now.
I want to know, how did you come into your sexuality? How do you identify now? Do you think sexuality is a forever evolving thing?
You want me to answer?
Yes.
Oh, so me coming into my sexuality, like I grew up, I was dating females up until I got into the 9th grade. I think high school. Once I started high school, not to say that I was, because I was looking at guys before then, but I wasn't acting on it. Like it was like, okay, he's straight, he like, hey, Then I get in high school, and then I get a letter. I was starting marching band, and I get a letter written to me by a guy, and the guy's telling me how he thinks I'm attractive and I'm cute, and I'm just sitting here thinking in my head like, a dude really wrote me this and said this, like, this some crazy shit. Like, so this ain't right. Like, for real, this ain't right. Like, and then when I seen who it was, that's what really threw me off, because I'm looking at him like, first of all, he don't look gay, he don't walk gay,
Yes.
he don't hang around nobody gay. Like, I'm just a little confused.
Yes.
Like, what is the problem? At that time, y'all, I didn't know anything about trade and DL and all that. I didn't know nothing about that. So I didn't understand. I was just like, this boy is writing me like, what's up? Fast forward, experimented, kissed the guy first. The kiss was everything. Next, it went to oral. The oral was everything. After that, it was very much like, okay, well, let me really go into this and see what's really going on. Like, let me see what the hype is about. Like, had my first sexual experience with a guy, and it was actually a verse set. I started off versatile.
Yes.
I didn't start off as a bottom or just a top. I started off as a versatile set, but it hurt. So it wasn't. It wasn't a whole session, but we did our little thug thizzle, and then from that point, it was just like, you know what? I do like guys, but I still had that mindset in the back of my head, like, I never gave up on females though. Like, I never, like, one of my homegirls now, if you actually go on my Facebook, if y'all friends with me on Facebook, one of my homegirls now that I used to go to school with, she don't care about me being gay. She don't care about me dating guys. She still wants me. Like, to this very day. And I just find it to be so funny and cute, but at the same time, it's like, me coming to terms with my sexuality, about who I really am. And honestly, I'm gonna give her props while I'm on live right now. It actually was Patrice that got me to actually understand my sexuality and really who I am as a person, because I was putting myself in a box and saying, hey, because I'm gay, I only really can date men, or if I tell a female that I date men, she not gonna like me. That's a lie. If she down for the count and she understand that sex is sex, can I?
Okay, hey baby. Hey. Can I also ask you, when did you know you started desiring sex?
I started desiring sex honestly around like I was like 25. Honestly, like that's when it really hit me that I really wanted to start like it. When I say my hormones and everything just started just raging in my body, and I was like, okay, now look, I knew it was a little weird when I couldn't not touch myself. I had to masturbate because I needed that. Like, I wanted to have sex, and it was just a lot that was going on in my head at the time. But literally around 25, honestly, is really when it really started hitting me that I really desired sex. I really wanted it. Like, I felt comfortable enough with somebody touching me in certain areas and doing certain things to me that I wasn't before. So it was like, now my guard is down. I'm just, I'm not a gaping hole, y'all, but I'm open.
Okay. Period. This is the freak in me. Johnny, can you please tell us? Well, you did give us a little hint on when you started desiring sex. You started desiring sex real early.
Yes.
But when did you fully come into your sexuality? And do you think sexuality is a forever evolving thing?
I do think that it is something that is forever evolving. I do think that we see ourselves sexually differently all the time. I think that for me, it wasn't about me coming to terms with my sexuality. It's about the world coming to terms with my sexuality. I think that was my problem, because, and it's very similar to Sean. To this day, I still am, like, I do consider myself a part of the LGBT community. I do consider myself as gay. I do consider myself, but I also consider myself as sexually fluid. I don't say bisexual because I wouldn't date a female right at this particular point.
Right.
But I'm still sexually attracted to females, and things like that as well. So that's why I don't use the word bisexuality, or I don't say bisexual, because I wouldn't be in a full-fledged relationship with a woman. And it's just because of the whole situation of how people are raised and the doubts. I mean, there are women out there, like Sean said, that wouldn't mind and would have it, and you can be authentic and have that conversation with. But that's very far few in between, and unfortunately,
not as much as you think.
well, I, I'm gonna okay. It's very far few in between, and most times the people that I come in contact with are not willing to, have that conversation or willing to, um, you know, um, accept that, and still have a nice sexual experience with me. Um, but other than that, I do think that I came into my sexuality at a very young age, as you guys know. What advanced my sexuality and me coming to my sexuality was, I think I had to be maybe 21. And I had a case manager, and I'm not going to give his name out, just to kind of protect him, but I definitely will. I want to so bad. But I had a case manager, and he was the epiphany of a sex guru. Like, he was very. I'm talking about constantly shook the table. A lot of my practices and a lot of things that I talk about, kind of gotten from him, and how comfortable I am with talking about sex, and shaking the table. Um, but like, he would literally come into, like, he eluded sex, and not in a sexual way, but it was a very educational way, and it very much of, ooh, like, I'm learning so much, and I'm not desiring you sexually. It was phenomenal how he did it. However, one thing that he told me is that if you understand yourself sexually, nobody can ever have you wrapped around their finger. And that saying has stayed with me forever. Like, I have literally, fell in love with myself sexually, fell in love with my body, fell in love with how I work myself, and how I please myself, that nobody else in this world can ever have me wrapped around their finger. Now, I understand that the attachment won't be there, but as far as me being dick whip, pussy whip, butt whip, that's just not gonna happen for me. Because I can do it better myself. And that's just facts. That's just facts. Somebody said facts. I can
Facts.
do it better. Somebody said facts, and I can do it better myself.
Yes. But
See, I'm not.
when did you start
Huh?
desiring sex to come into your sexuality?
Oh. So I was a serious tomboy growing up. Like playing basketball, giving niggas black eyes, getting black eyes, like all of that. So I probably didn't start looking at boys like that until 10th grade. I didn't have sex till my freshman year in college. And I was mad because I was like, is this what everybody's talking about? This is some bullshit.
No,
what
girl,
the fuck? I was over it. I was so over it. Then a little later on, I met my ex, and he taught me a lot, and helped me find my own sexual identity. And then I became I turned into what Johnny was saying. I was really aggressive. Like, woo! Guys would walk up to me in the club, and I'd be like, are we fucking or not?
Okay.
Nah? Go the other way. I don't have time for dancing and shit. I don't want you to buy me shit. Are we fucking or nah? Nah? All right.
Yes.
Because I didn't, after being in a relationship and then getting out of it, I didn't want to go through that feeling anymore. I was like, I'm just going to be single until there becomes a time, if there ever becomes a time, that I want to be in another relationship. Because it was too much for me.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. And after I met a lot of my gay family, and they turned me on to a chat line, why would you do that?
Interactive mail.
Interactive mail. You have mail.
Oh my God.
Yes. Real quickly, our last topic, I want to talk about sex in the media and how it's shown. And do you think the media now is more sexualized than it was before, or do you think it's still the same?
It's definitely more sexualized than it was before. Like now, just about every commercial has some aspect of some sex, whether it be sexy, cute, out and out, somebody having sex or half naked. I mean, that is how this country sells stuff right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how, I mean, even with your music, you didn't have people talking about suck my dick and eat my pussy in the 80s. They was trying to serenade you and make you fall in love and court you
Mm-hmm.
and shit. These motherfucking hoes wouldn't know courting if it came and sat on their face.
Hell no, it's straight up. You trying to fuck or not? You gonna suck this dick? You gonna go home in the Uber? Bye. Yes, I
Fucked
will
a bitch
say.
and gave her no breakfast. Yeah, that shit.
Okay, I will say that I grew up in the era of reality TV, and the reason why I mention that is because I grew up in an era where we had a reality TV show about the Playboy Mansion and his three current girlfriends, and it would show them doing their mansion stuff and photo shoots, and then also the Kardashians, Kim doing Playboy, and the sisters were swinging on the pole, and all types of stuff. So media, from what I remember from my childhood, has always been sexual. Like even with reality TV, like the Real World, people be having sex in the Real World. Bad Girls Club, they let their boyfriends come over to the house. You already know what's going on. Like, so it's just
I grew
like
up in the Cosby Show era,
I know that's crazy. I got the
only
reason
to
why I
find
got
out he was a fucking molester
the
later.
yeah the reason why I got to talk is because I got caught watching True Blood. But see, when I was watching it, there was no
Watching what?
True. There used to be a show on HBO called True Blood about vampires and shit. It was
Oh, I
good.
love that show. It was
It's really
great.
it's really good. But they are very sexual and they do get down to it. So
That's
then I
what vampires do.
so then I got caught. My mom was like, what you watching? I'm like, girl, just I'm just skipping through the channels.
Okay.
I'm just skipping through the channels. That's it. But Johnny, I want to get your opinion. Do you think that media is over sexualized now? Do you think it's about the same?
Um, I think that media went through stages. There were a time frame in the Harlem Renaissance. There was a lady that I can't think of her name right now that had these sexualized ass songs, suck my cock, I want to like it was so there have been stages in our you think about Marilyn Monroe and how sexualized she was.
I mean, you still had the hippies from the 60s. It's not that people weren't having sex. It was just how it was, to me, it was how it was perceived. Even Marilyn Monroe was fully clothed.
But she was still getting her dress blown up on the street, girl.
She was, because she was an actress.
Yes, but it was still the cover of Playboy, though.
I'm not mad at that. Because that's Playboy. You know what I'm saying? That's not Ebony. That's not Vogue. It's Playboy. You buy Playboy to see naked bitches.
Period. Yes, but I also want to talk about music too, because music has always been explicit to me. Like my mother would play Lil Kim, my father would be playing DMX, and they wasn't singing no child. They wasn't singing no child lullabies. Like, and they used to bump it hard in the car. And one time my uncle was like, "You can listen to music, but you better not be doing it." I was like, "Yes, like I'm not gonna be shooting people, being no prostitute." But yeah, I used to listen to that. And then as music progressed, it didn't get any better. It just became more and more and more um vulgar, open, and sexualized. Like there's a whole song out now called "Throat Baby." He's talking about giving her throat babies, and they play it on the radio. They play the clean version, but if you actually in the club and you hear the real version, that is a mess. But he means everything he's saying in the song.
I feel like what Johnny said too, like with even when it comes to like any media, music, TV, anything, and we definitely went through stages because even talking earlier, y'all was talking about a certain part about like the real talk and stuff like that. How we used to watch that, but I also remember a time back then too. Even when we were seeing sex scenes on TV, I'm 32, but when I was seeing sex scenes back then, you would only see they would only show the female, like they would show the female breast and like maybe her lower
maybe
part,
a
like her
cheek.
lower part. Now you seeing penises on TV, you seeing butts, you seeing titties, in music, you hearing wet ass pussy, you hearing stuff like this, and it's like, we have when I'm around my older family, like my aunts and them, when they hear stuff like that, I swear they act like it's like the worst thing ever. They what she like, what you gonna do with this wedding? She's like, oh my god. Did she really say? I'm like, yes.
Yeah,
girl,
when my
like,
mom said that, I was like, girl, you used to be bumping Lil Kim. Stop playing with me.
But my thing was,
But
it was the way that they sexualized it back then was a little bit. It wasn't as vulgar. It was more so in the. I ain't even gonna say a safe way. It was just more so in a way that you can kind of relate to it in a more comfortable way now. Then now it's kind of like they over sexualize everything, and it's like, okay, calm down. We get it.
Like when I was in school, I remember when they tried to ban Two Live Crew because the music was considered so vulgar.
Wow.
I remember that vividly. They said the music. I mean, yeah. I remember when they tried to come to Charlotte, they didn't want to let them in, and I was older then, and so they did a lock-in at a club.
Yes, I remember going to dances and they'd be twerking and grinding on the floor, and it was a mess. I remember all of it. It's just
with the band dance. Y'all remember
yeah. And the teacher who was dance, she's like, I ain't letting my daughter go today. Y'all ain't gonna be dancing on. She ain't gonna be dancing on nobody out in my face. I'm like, oh my god, girl.
I think I went to one high school dance,
and that was it.
That was it. And then I went to my junior prom, my senior prom. That was my first and second date.
Regina say, what about Pamela Anderson? And and that whole fiasco.
Yeah.
What was the other one's name?
Karma Electra.
No, it was somebody, Karma Electra, but it was somebody else. What was her name? She died.
I'm trying to think. Oh, Anna Nicole.
Anna Nicole.
And she married that old man.
Yes, Anna Nicole. But
yes.
That was supposed to be our modern day Marilyn Monroe.
She was pretty. She was pretty though.
Oh my gosh, she was gorgeous.
She was very pretty. When she was a guest model, you couldn't do nothing with that.
Gorgeous.
That bitch was beautiful.
So we're gonna close this topic out. I actually want to get into Peace with Patrice.
I hate you.
Okay, come on.
Peace with Patrice.
So in this section, I would really like to do have people give me questions, and I can do advice, or if you need a reality check, all of those things like that. PEACE is actually an acronym. It stands for Positive Education Actually Corrects Errors. So that's what we want to do, is talk in a positive way about questions, issues, topics that you wouldn't bring up with other people. Shoot it to my inbox. I love to talk to it. And it's always going to be, hey, it's always going to be, there's not going to be any names. It'll always be anonymous. You don't have to worry about being outed. I will just talk about your question or do my advice thing.
So we're gonna format it in a way of it like an advice columnist. Sorry. So if you have any type of problems that you're facing, feel free to
Dear Abby.
Perfect. If you have any problems that you're facing, you can inbox any of us and we can get it to Patrice, or you can inbox her directly. And so next week we are gonna have advertisements for the different segments that we're adding to the program. We will have Sean. We will have the Peace with Patrice, and we're gonna have another health segment as well that we're gonna be bringing on. So think about questions that you want to ask. Think about things that you got going on in your personal life that you want to talk about. And you don't want to.
There's no such thing as a stupid question.
No such thing at all. And you can send that stuff over to our inboxes. As a matter of fact, you know what? You know something that I just thought about that would have been real helpful. Y'all remember that anonymously app that came out a couple of I think last year, and like people can message you anonymously and you not know who it is, and they ask you questions or say something stupid.
Oh, they'll confess to
That sounds
you.
like some stalker shit.
Oh
No,
yeah.
and some people they will confess like their deepest darkest secrets to you. You be like, oh
Yes.
girl,
Yes.
you did
So
what? Wow.
um
That ain't right.
the first so I'm going to ask that in order to participate in that, you do not put your stuff in the comment section, that you inbox Patrice or one of us directly, so that we're not naming you and people not knowing who you are.
And yes, my name is Patrice Marsh on Facebook. It's
Yes.
actually my real name.
Mm-hmm.
And that way that people can we're going to respect your privacy. So that was just a little introduction of things that we got coming along. Next week we will have, like I said, different advertisements for each segment, and ways to kind of leeway into a different segment. So if we don't have any questions, without further ado, I want to thank you for joining us
Thank
Bye.
you.
and being part of the conversation.
Y'all already know.
You already
Y'all
know.
know where to meet us at next Thursday, right? Next Thursday, same time, same place. Meet us here.
Fuck Donald Trump. Okay.
Period.
Period. Oh, virtual games.
Not the games.
So
Yes, gay bingo.
I will be doing myself a disservice to not advertise gay bingo.
Oh.
I want to put this up because I wanted to let you guys know that gay bingo is happening this year, and we're going virtually.
Mm-hmm.
Also, what I am doing is I'm also adding the link to the bottom of the screen so that you guys, I'm putting it in the comments so you guys can look at it. If you want to come to Gay Bingo, you can do so by clicking the comments, clicking in the comments and seeing the link and click on it. I think tickets are actually I'm not even sure. Um, Tickets are $35. And
What's up, it?
not bad at all. And it is a night of fun. It is a night of having a good time. Gay Bingo will be held on November the 14th. One of the perks is you get to see me in drag.
Yes.
Yes, baby. Come on.
But there are a lot of raffle prizes, opportunities for you to win trips. I'm talking about like trips, a lot of expensive raffle things that we got for you guys to kind of be a part of. And of course, as you can see, the theme of it will be the Olympics, the games. I love how they put the spin on that. GAYMES. Games.
It's Libra Cat.
So please watch us make a fool of ourselves and have a good and just have a good time. I had
Oh yeah.
a very fun time filming this. I'm gonna have an even better time watching it. So come and watch with me.
It's gonna be fun. It's always really funny.
Yes, and anybody can click on the ticket and buy it. Again, it's virtual ticket. So you once you click your once you get your ticket the day of it's gonna be a live event. And you click on your ticket and you can scream it on your TV, on your computer, your laptop, on your home, and have a good time with us. Have a good time with me because I'm gonna be watching and laughing, and you're gonna see my commentary a little bit. So again, hopefully you guys come out or show up. I guess it's so weird saying that.
Show up and show out. Yeah.
And for the last thing that we want to tell y'all.
Oh God.
Lord.
I want everybody to do it now. Don't forget.
Getting tested as well.
It's sexy.